Low-carb-recipe-ideas.com. Sorry I didn't do a recipe last week, but I was off in Cuba to see my daughter get married, and it was wonderful. And thank you for all the lovely comments that I got from you guys. Anyhow, today we're going to make a low-carb, thin, crispy pizza crust. And I'm taking the recipe from Healing Gourmet. It's a book that I have on my blog that you can buy, and you get different kind of recipes, low carb recipes. So they have the better breads, that is one of the books, and they have appetizers, and they have all the delicious guilt-free desserts. And it's Healing Gourmet by Kelly Herring. So today we're going to make the thin crispy pizza crust. It works out to be like 3 net carbs per slice, and it's quite nice, and I'm sure you're going to enjoy it. So let's get started, and I'll show you how to make it. The first thing we need is 5 tablespoons of coconut flour. Now, Kelly, in her recipes, she uses all organic. I know there's a lot of people out there that can't afford a lot of the organic stuff, but she has very healthy recipes, and if you can't, then you use what you have, but you still are getting a healthy recipe by using regular stuff also. So 2 tablespoons of Parmesan cheese, and this is just the Parmesan that's powder. 2 tablespoons of flaxseed meal. Now this is the darker flaxseed. I like the golden, but I just happen to have the dark, and that's what I'm using. Now we're going to put in a teaspoon of dried oregano, a teaspoon of garlic powder, half a teaspoon of dried basil. We're just going to mix this all up. I've cracked open 4 eggs. I've whipped them up a little bit, so we're going to pour the 4 eggs in. Get my spatula here. Don't want to waste any of it. And I have a tablespoon of extra virgin olive oil. Try and get all of that. And a 1/4 teaspoon of sea salt, but you can use regular salt also. So we're just going to work at mixing this all together. Now in her recipe, she's recommending using the food processor and blend it until it's all nice and smooth. Well, I'm just going to use it in the bowl, because I find using my food processor that I have so much to clean off with the blades and stuff, and sometimes I find that irritating. So it's up to you what you want to use. I'm just going to let it sit for a couple of minutes, because I find coconut flour really absorbs the moisture, and I just want to make sure that I've got it all absorbed, and then we can continue with the rest of our crust recipe. I've let it sit for a little bit, so I've got 3/4 cup of mozzarella cheese that I've shredded. And we're just going to fold this and mix it all up. Now in her recipe, she says take a pan or cookie sheet or a pizza pan, whatever, and grease it, and then press out the crust onto the pan. I'm going to use parchment paper. I just love parchment paper because I find that it stops from, sticking, burning, whatever. It just works so much nicer. So I think I've got this down nice mixed, that it should turn out quite lovely. With the garlic and stuff in it, and it's got a nice smell to it. I've taken the parchment paper and I've just cut it out the same size as my pizza pan. Not really sure if I'm going to have it fill the whole thing, but we're going to put this in the center. Get my spatula and clean up the pot as much as possible. She has some amazing recipes. I really highly recommend you taking a look at the recipe book. It's an e-book. You keep it online. You can just look it up whenever you like and find the recipes that you want. It's just so good. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to take another piece of parchment paper. I'm going to put it on top, and I'm just going to start pressing it around. And I'm making a nice thin crust here. So I'll work at that. And I'll be right back with you. So I even took a little flat knife and I just kind of took it along just to make it more even all the way around. Sometimes it's hard to get them even. So now we're just going to peel off the parchment paper. And I've got the oven on at 350. I'm going to use the middle rack, and I'm going to bake it between 20 and 25 minutes. So let's see how it turns out. Now when our crust is done, I'm going to use my fresh mushrooms on my pizza. And I just love this herbamare. So I'm just going to take and sprinkle some on the top of it. Then I'm just going to scoop it up, and I'm going to put them in a bowl. And I'm going to just put it in the microwave for a short time just to soften them up and get some of the moisture out of them before I put them on our pizza. So I microwaved them for a minute, and if you can see, there's a lot of moisture there. And I just want to eliminate it. So I'm just going to use my colander, and I'm going to drain the moisture off of them. And when my crust is ready, we will apply them and make a beautiful pizza. So I have about 6 or 7 minutes left in the oven for the crust, and I thought, okay, what is it going to be like with the parchment paper? And I was a little concerned about that. So I took my lifter, because a little bit of it got caught on the sides. It was sticking and stuff. So what I decided to do is I'm just going to take it, and I don't know if I can show you at the same time, but I've got two pizza crusts or pans. So I'm just going to take it, and I've turned it over onto the other pan, and I'm just going to put it back in the oven for the last 5 minutes. So I just took the crust out of the oven. That's a total of 20 minutes. Now you're going to have to just keep an eye with your own oven, because everyone is different in each household. So just, keep an eye on it. So I'm going to just put ingredients on now. It's 3 net carbs for the crust itself, for 6 slices of this size pizza, which is quite good. Now I'm just going to add some goodies on top to make a pizza. And I am using, I don't know, in Canada we have no name brands, and this particular one, I try to find the lowest no name brand, the lowest carb count I could find, and this particular one, it is 5 net carbs for a quarter of a cup. So I've got a quarter of a cup here. Not sure if I'm going to use it all, so we're just going to take the bottom end of the spoon, and we're going to spread it around. It looks like I will be using it all. And I have my mushrooms that I just put them in the microwave for a minute with a little bit of herbamare, and I drained the juices off of them, because there's a lot of moisture, a lot of water in mushrooms. And this was approximately 5 normal size mushrooms that I used. And then I have my mozzarella cheese. So, sorry, I'll put some of the mozzarella on, and then I will throw on some pepperonis, and we're going to make a delicious pizza. The pepperonis I've used in other of my recipes. It's Pillars, And it's 1 carb for 10. So you just count out. You'll just have to calculate what the carb count is. I will calculate it as to what I've done, but whatever you put on your pizza, you make sure you do your counting so you have an idea. But the biggest part is that crust. Let's have a good crust. And I'm very impressed with Kelly's recipe book. She's got amazing stuff. She really, really does. And I think you're going to be impressed if you take a look at it. There, we'll just put on the rest of our cheese. And I'm going to put it back in the oven. Still at 350. You could use the broiler, but I'm going to put it in the oven for 350 for approximately 10 minutes. And then our pizza should be totally ready. This pizza smells delicious. It really, really does. It's a thin crust, but it's a very good crust. See, you can see the bottom of it. You know what? I think this is the best one I've had yet. Very, very good. You need to check out Healthy Desserts with Kelly Herring. If you go to lowcarbrecipe.ideas.com, you will find the cookbook on the side of my blog, and it'll be in with the other information. Like, look at the bottom of the crust. It looks absolutely delicious, and it is delicious. It's really good. You'll enjoy it. Yes, and I have mushrooms, pepperoni, and cheese on the top for the pizza. So go to lowcarbrecipe.ideas.com. Check out this recipe. Check out the cookbook. You'll really enjoy it if you purchase it. And I will see you in the next video. Take care. Bye now.